Looking over Perry on I-75 going northbound on this wonderful Wednesday morning. It is now 6:30. I'm TJ Anthony.
And I'm Ashlyn Webb. So right now it is very foggy out right now. We're going to check in with Taylor Stephenson with a check on your forecast.
I mean, the big story this morning is the fog. It is causing places on the roads like 75 in Perry to be basically blanketed and very hard to see. So if you're about to head out to the morning commute, if you're about to take those kids maybe to the early care or getting ready for anything you're doing this morning, be super careful. Allow yourself an extra few minutes to kind of have a slower drive so you can be aware of other drivers on the road. Very warm though, 60s in Perry already. Area wide we're seeing mid 50s north, upper 50s in central parts of central Georgia, and then low 60s across the southern tier of our counties. This is our average high temperatures for this time of year, so very warm. We'll go up from there. Across the area, visibility is down to 0 miles worth of visibility from Milledgeville down to Sandersville. It gets worse in these northeastern parts, so be careful. Live radar shows you that we are quiet now. A few showers were going on earlier in South Georgia. Showers are possible today and tomorrow along our unsettled pattern. I'll break down the full 7-day forecast that comes up in a few minutes.
The time is now 6:31. Developing overnight, a teen is dead after she was hit by a car on I-75 northbound before Sardis Church Road just last night.
Beach County Coroner Carrie Rook says 17-year-old Valeria Bryan of Byron died after she got out of her car on the interstate and was hit. Beach County deputies are still investigating to figure out why she got out of her vehicle.
Plus, this morning, we're continuing to follow an accident out of Houston County that left one person dead. Coroner James Williams says it happened around 6:40 just last night on Highway 247 near the Bibb County line. One of the drivers died after being sent to the hospital. Plus, investigators are waiting for information from the GBI Crime Lab this morning as they try to figure out what led to the deaths of a mother and a daughter in a Crawford County fire. A release from the sheriff's office says it happened on Whitaker Road just after 7 Tuesday morning. 89-year-old Cleona Rains and 65-year-old Veronica Rains were still in bed when the fire started. Fire Chief Randall Pate says the cause of the fire is still under investigation, but he says a wood-burning stove might be to blame.
Right now, Washington County Sheriff says a Davisboro police officer was drunk during a traffic stop. He says it happened as the officer was training a new officer on the job. Now both men are on leave while the Davisboro Department investigates.
Reflects back on me, and that's not the way I want my department looks. You know, I expect to have some good qualified guys to come down here and do what they're supposed to do. Y'all can trust me as a chief to do what we need to do discipline wise, you know, when matters like that happen.
An incident report from the Washington County Sheriff's Office says it happened around 9 a.m. Sunday as Mike Robinson was driving to work. It says during the stop, both Durden and Voss placed their hands on their weapons and told Robinson to get back in his car. Robinson also says it happened outside the Davisboro city limit, so the pair had no authority to stop him.
And Warner Robins police need your help finding the people who stole at least 13 guns and 31 boxes of ammo from 3 gun stores. The thieves drove a car into one of the shops early Monday. And police say the burglars targeted Oak Ridge Arms, Chuck's Bait and Tackle, and also Centerville Gun and Pawn. Video right there on your screen shows all 3 locations. 2 men in masks and hoods. Warner Robins police say the men used a stolen vehicle to actually commit the burglaries. Patrick Young, owner of Centerville Gun and Pawn, says they actually used the vehicle to drive through his business.
Because they had to climb over the vehicle to exit the building, but they did make 2 trips. They got off with 13 handguns, some boxes of ammo, and one of the guys slipped and fell in the store, and his phone fell out of the pocket and was left behind.
Young says the thieves targeted one case holding guns that cost anywhere from $500 to $1,700.
Now, taking a closer look at gun theft statistics, the FBI says from 2012 to 2017, more than $829 million worth of guns were reported stolen across the country. That's an estimated 1.8 million guns. Georgia recorded the 4th highest number of gun thefts during that period. Statewide, more than $47 million worth of guns were stolen, an estimated 104,000 firearms. The report from AmericanProgress.org says the number of gun thefts is likely undercounted. That's because gun owners in most states are not required to report thefts. This morning, we have an update to a story we covered in February 2022. Houston County's district attorney says 2 Perry police officers were justified when they shot and killed a man after a standoff. Police say Matthew Deese hit a car with his truck, then drove home. Later, they say Deese argued with his wife and threatened to harm himself. Police say Deese barricaded himself inside his house and told police he wouldn't go back to jail. District Attorney William Kendall says Deese came outside and pointed a gun at an officer. That officer and another shot him. Kendall says officers believe Deese posed a threat to them and others. He says he doesn't plan to take the case to a grand jury. Warner Robins city employees can now get free training to get their commercial driver's license. This helps meet a goal to build their workforce with new training opportunities. Employees can get 40 hours of in-house training and 40 hours of road training taught at the Public Works Department. Director Craig Clifton says trainees will practice with the same vehicles they'll use every day. He also says training is during work hours, so it's accessible for everyone. Mayor LaRonda Patrick says it's a way to keep workers in the city.
As our city continues to grow and our workforce isn't growing, so we have to be very creative and innovative when it comes to keeping our employees and attracting new employees to come join the team.
Final certification and testing is handled by the state, but the program gets them the training to prepare for that test.
The time is now 6:33. This morning we heard from Maconites who showed up to remember Blair's Discount Furniture in Neal's department store. Yesterday, people gathered downtown to say goodbye to 2 downtown landmarks before being demolished to make room for more lofts. Blair's closed in 2020 and Neal's, also called Blair's too, closed years before Neal's was around for over a century as a family clothing business that started in the 1880s. Developer Robo Hatcher says they tried to save the buildings, but it would cost too much.
Worked with Historic Macon for a really long time to try to come up with a creative way to use the existing buildings. They just present too many challenges and they don't work economically.
Hatcher says he remembers shopping at Neal's growing up. Right now, there's no date for the demolition. Hatcher says they'll do it as soon as they get the permits.
$250,000 is headed to South Bibb Recreation Center for repairs. The mayor and Bibb commissioner set aside the money to help pay for repairs after cold weather damaged the pipes over the holidays. They also re-elected Commissioner Seth Clark as mayor pro tem and approved $7.5 million in American Rescue Plan money for affordable housing, eliminating blight. We now know who is headlining the 2023 Cherry Blossom Festival in a few months. There's a Bob Marley cover band, an Elvis tribute group, and there's also a yacht rock review on the docket. Plus, you'll see the Sugar Hill Gang and probably my favorite, the country music group, the Eli Young Band, will play on Friday, March 24th. You can find a full list of performers online at 13wmaz.com. Bulldogs across the state are still celebrating UGA's big national championship win, but there's also some Bulldogs celebrating right here in Central Georgia.
That's right. Junior journalist Kinsley Johnson went down to Houston County to find this week's My Teacher is Tops.
I'm at Purdue Elementary School where a 5th grade student says her teacher puts a smile on her face every day. Let's go surprise her. Good morning, Mrs. McNair. I'm junior journalist Kinsley Johnson. You're this week's My Teacher's Tops. Carrie McNair is a 5th grade teacher at Purdue Elementary. She taught in Houston County schools for 21 years and nearly a decade at Purdue Elementary. She's definitely making an impact. This is her second My Teacher's Tops win. Mrs. McNair says she loves so many things about teaching, but if she had to pick her favorite, it's hands-on learning and the fact that every day is different. She says she learns more from her students than they learn from her. Students like Alyssa Ashley say Mrs. McNair makes learning fun.
She is kind and caring. She isn't strict like other teachers. She always finds a way to make someone smile. That's why I think Miss McNair should be My Teacher's Tops.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. What's my favorite subject? Social studies. They know that one. They know I get really into social studies. I'm that history nerd.
Congratulations, Mrs. McNair students. Keep sending in those nominations. We might come to your school next. Reporting from Warner Robins, I'm junior journalist Kinsley Johnson.
Wow, she did amazingly. We just may need to hire her here.
We really do. She's so professional, so mature, and she's only a 7th grader. Can you believe that?
No, I cannot. Now, our junior journalists love to surprise your top teachers, so be sure to send in your nomination. Students can do just that by writing us a letter or an email. Send letters to 1314 Great Highway, Macon, Georgia 31211, or email us at myteacherisTaught@13wmaz.com. You can also send us a video right on the 13WMAZ app, Ashley.
It's awesome. Make sure to include your name, your teacher's name, and what school you attend. Get a parent to help you upload the video, and our JJs might just surprise your teacher next. Now we're going to get a check on our forecast from Taylor Stevenson. And Taylor, we are matching in our Georgia red.
We are.
I love
I feel left out. Look, I did graduate from UGA. I do feel left out.
Go Dogs. Yeah, we're both alumni. It's great.
I mean, I guess we can make this Oklahoma red too.
Don't say that.
Taylor, we love you.
See,
we love that forecast that you're about to give even more.
I guess, but can we get some props to the Big 12 for even making it that far? No one thought that was going to happen. So kudos to the Big 12. I'm proud of y'all. We finally did it. Didn't mean the game went well, because it didn't. But, I mean, you know, Georgia did what they had to do. They're a phenomenal team. Of course, one of the things we're still celebrating is the back-to-back championships in Central Georgia. One of the things we're not celebrating this morning is that dense fog. It's just everywhere across the area. Here's a live look now from Macon, and you're seeing the fog across the area. Some people are already out and about on their commutes. Be careful. Take your time. Upper 50s in Macon is our high temperature, and that's where we're sitting this morning. Current visibility around the area, slim to none, so be careful on the roads. This has prompted a dense fog advisory until 11 a.m. for all of Central Georgia. So again, that dense fog is the main story for this morning, along with the warm temperatures. 50s across the area if you head north, 60s for our southern tier. From this time yesterday, we're about 10 to 20 degrees warmer. It's all a part of this very unsettled pattern that is bringing warm, moist air into Central Georgia. Live radar shows you we are quiet across the area. A few showers still going on in parts of Albany, Tifton, Douglas, and in South Georgia. Everywhere else in Georgia is mainly quiet, but showers are possible as this stalled front sits over the deep south. So through the rest of your Wednesday, expect warmth, cloud cover, and showers. By this mid-morning, a few showers will start to roll in. Temperatures by lunchtime will already be in those 60s. This afternoon, we could see a little blue skies parting in parts of the area with some rain going on in others. Temperatures will rise into the upper 60s, low 70s. That is not the end of the rain for Central Georgia. There is more rain on the way along a cold front that will move through. Thankfully, this cold front will weaken before it gets here, but the biggest story will be this southerly wind. It will gust up to 30 miles an hour tomorrow. We could have some showers, bringing some moderate downpours. Still a warm day in the 70s. We'll actually get some sunshine behind that front once it clears us out. Now, Friday will be our mainly dry day before more rain rolls in during the weekend. Widespread rain possible for Sunday with rumbles of thunder coming in. More rain arrives on Tuesday along a next front. So lots of rain over the next 7 days. Expect 1 to isolated 3 inches of rain across Central Georgia. Your 7-day forecast shows you that we are going to be in the 70s today and tomorrow, but behind that weak cold front will actually be some decent cold air. So we'll start in the 70s and drop to the 50s by the weekend.